my gosh, we're muted. sorry. Hello again.
This is her fault. She's in charge of her
I
computer.
took care of everything, and when I tried to unmute us, I muted us because I didn't realize that was already fixed.
Yeah.
But hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to see you guys. We saw a lot of you yesterday on Lazy Days Ahead's channel for the October
extravaganza.
And that was a really fun live stream. So thank you guys all for being there.
So she can say all the big words, but she can't say extravaganza.
It's a thing. Hi, Dark Lord Mena and Misha Lee and Dee's Garden Adventures. Thank you guys so much for being here. Our treasured home in Karma Lewis.
Demoose.
I
love your name.
I love your name.
Demoose.
Hey, look, moose.
Yeah, exactly.
Lori's World. Dark. I already said that. And Andale Homestead and Bushcraft Family. It's actually the lack of this time.
Yeah, she actually didn't push the button. Imagine that. Hi, Miss Grace.
And Miss Grace, thank you so much for being here.
Turn down the green screen because my hair is flickering.
You're gonna make this bad.
No. See, there you go. There, that's better. My hair's not flickering anymore.
Yeah, now it's blue.
Your hair is blue.
Okay. So
it is off season.
We are officially in the off season for Survival Seeds 2024.
Season's over.
With that comes a few changes. Last week we had our very first panel of collaborators. We had Our Treasured Home and Leonard Mountain Homestead, and they were up with Bushcraft Family to talk about how their gardening season went and what they would like
be done better
for Survival Seeds 2025, which is going to happen. We've got some things that we're working out to make things easier on us and hopefully everyone. And I'm excited to come and share those with you guys. I was going to share it today because I'm working on a thing.
I'm just starring all the comments.
I'm working on a thing, but it didn't get done in time because I remembered I had homework and I had to go do my homework.
It's not going to be done in a day. She starts these huge projects. He's like, yeah, I'll have this finished by tonight for the live stream. And a traditional person would take over a week to create an entire one of these things.
You're kind of getting very, very specific.
Okay.
But
it's a surprise.
But stay tuned for next week because I'm hopefully gonna have it done by then, and then I'll get the show off. But I'm excited for it. So there's definitely going to be some changes coming soon. Also, there's a final video playlist on our channel.
The October
thing already happened. But there's still a playlist, and we highly encourage you to check these amazing people out. There's so many great videos, and we are excited to see some of the ones that are still going to be coming out.
I learned a lot just from the videos that have been added to the playlist this year. And for those of you guys who are wondering, like me, I actually had this thought, and I was actually kind of thinking about it. Are you going to be allowed to put... You can still post Survival Seeds videos after the off season.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just no longer doing
The reason we had a final video and an entry video was to
mark the end and the beginning of the season.
And see how what you learned. That doesn't have to be the final video you ever do for Survival Seeds 2024 because it's still 2024, and as Bunky's going to come show you later, there are definitely still things in the garden for some of you that are growing and thriving. So that is another thing. You can definitely still be doing. I'm trying to get something important, and I keep losing my train of thought.
Okay, I'll take it from here.
Thank you.
So yeah, just definitely keep an eye on those playlists, because I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more videos. And if you guys haven't been trying to watch all the videos, there are so many things you can learn from all the other people in the playlist and in the collaboration. I've had a lot of fun following along with everyone's gardening journeys. Some people had a lot of luck. A lot of people didn't have a lot of luck, us included, especially with the squash. We usually do pretty well with squash, and we had no squash this year that we planted. And the beets didn't do well.
They did for Miss Grace, though. She just picked them.
Beets. Nice.
That's great.
That is great.
Like said in the chat, everyone who collaborated should be a moderator, and if not, just let us know and we'll get that fixed for you. And feel free to drop your links to your videos or talk about gardening like
Or
the
your
comment
channel.
says. Yeah. Hi, Camel and Bose. Thanks so much for being here.
Still have squash on the vine, hoping they're right before the frost.
We still have
Yeah.
tomatoes on the vine, and we already had a frost.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. Mom was talking this morning, and 5 years ago today, we had no power because of like a storm that had ice right after it.
Yeah.
So it's funny that like it's October 20th, and it was like maybe 70 degrees out today. It was insane.
Yeah.
There's enough for 3 of us. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Hey, what did I click? Hey, Gail Southern Living, and
Hi,
it all
all
adds
adds
up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Ooh, you're growing
Eggplant.
eggplants.
Mom wants to grow eggplant, but KK does not like eggplant.
I'm surprisingly a very picky eater with like
Surprisingly,
three or 4 vegetables that I just don't
I can
like.
name them. There's zucchini, eggplants, and mushrooms, and olives.
Yep. Before we bring up our co-hosts and panelists for tonight, Trey would like to be talking about something.
You know, you are allowed to do the hashtags too.
Yes, but you wrote it, so you do it.
Yeah, but you know, if you wanted to, you can go through the whole playlist and watch all these
I
videos.
appreciate your work. Thank you for doing that.
You can make the little these things that I make. You can do them too. Yeah. Anyway, we had a lot.
Hold on. It all adds up is getting some pumpkins. That's so cool.
You still have my GIF up. You should turn that off if you're going to talk to those people.
I'm done.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay, so this week we had a lot of final videos posted, and I don't know if I got all of them. It's bothering me that the SS and SS24 is covering 2 of the videos.
Woohoo.
Like, it's bothering me. Should have moved over. I should have done that.
Okay, come on.
Hey, we had a lot of final videos. In fact, these are all final videos on here. I ran out of time and did not double check the hashtag to make sure everything that is in the on the everything that I watched and made notes for and everything. I didn't double check to make sure that all of that was all the stuff that's been posted this week, so I might be missing a few. Can you go back, please? I might be missing a couple, but hopefully this is everything. But we had It All Adds Up. Miss Lori had to actually re-upload her 2-part video because it accidentally got deleted. But she grew some beautiful squash and pumpkins. I'm a little jealous of the squash because we had really bad luck with the squash. But she grew some beautiful squash and pumpkins and showed what she did with her plants and survival seeds. It was a really great final video. Definitely check it out. A lot of people seem to have been struggling with squash this year, and she has some really great squash. So you go. Lewis Acre Farms, Miss Karma had some beautiful big beets, like big beets. She talked about what succeeded and what failed and what she learned and wants to change next year. And it was a great final video and a great tour. Her garden looked beautiful. Since it's coming towards the end of the year, a lot of people are getting that cold set in and things are starting to go downhill, but everything still looks great, even in spite of that. Suzanne Goulet, Miss Suzanne posted her video. She had a really successful year. She had a butternut squash, a really nice butternut squash, some great kidney beans she can replant next year, nice beets, some great peppers and tomatoes, and just a really, really nice year overall. For some reason, something was up this year, and a lot of people, us included, had trouble growing some stuff.
Right.
And it was just an off year. But some people did really, really well. Love the Land Homestead, her butternut squash was actually amazing. It was so fun to see how many squash she got. She got a lot of butternut squash.
Right.
She had a great little helper with her the whole video. But the squash was like the biggest thing that struck me was how much squash she got. Thrifty Endeavors and More, Miss Christie had a drought and lots of grasshoppers in 7B. So only a few of her plants
7B is her zone?
7B.
That's her zone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only a few of her plants actually ended up coming up, but she does plan to keep what seeds she got and try again next year. And she had a great stand on it. She talked a lot about what she learned this year and how she's hoping to do next year, which is really great. All of the final videos were really well put together, and I really appreciated all of them. Rambling with the Crumbs. Mr. Scott is another one of those lucky people who got squash this year. And he's saving a lot of jalapeno seeds, so kudos to you for that, because we love us some jalapenos here. And he's saving a lot of jalapeno seeds. He did touch on the growing zone issue a little bit, and that is something we need to talk about, because the seeds we picked were chosen for their nutritional benefits. If you only could grow a couple seeds, and we did not take into account as much as we should have the effects of the growing zones on the plants, because certain plants won't grow as well in different places. And I know for one that different kinds of onions, long onions and short onions or something like that, don't do well in different places. So that is something we need to talk about, because growing zones was an issue. Jennifer Ocean Homestead, Miss Jen did awesomely this year. Her herbs looked super beautiful, and so she should get some nice seeds from them. But she was super awesome to have in the collaboration. I remember she had a huge truckload of dirt, and she had a lot of colorful little pots. That was super, super cool. So it was really fun to have all these people in the collaboration. Dee's Garden Adventures. Miss Diana had a pretty nice year for her garden. She still has some of her plants growing, and she harvested a nice amount of kidney beans. But a lot of her plants are still growing and producing, and that was super, super cool to see. Where was I? Joyfully Orange Deborah. She put up her final video. Again, all of these were final videos. And she talked about what she learned and how she did and how the weather affected her growing season. The weather has been pretty, it's been pretty interesting this year, all over the place. Some people were having droughts, and then there was the storms. Some people were just not, almost everyone was just not having a great year weather-wise. So that affected a lot of people's growing seasons, and that is perfectly understandable. But she talked about how the weather affected her growing season and how she's learned to save seeds, and that she talked about how she no longer ever wants to grow string beans again because she does not like harvesting them. But that's part of the learning experience. You learn what you like to grow and what you don't like to grow, and that's great to learn. Cooking on the Farm put her final video out, and she talked about how her plants did, and her goats got out.
No.
I think she said multiple times her goats got out, and they ate a lot of her beans and a lot of her plants. I think she said it happened twice. And that's awful and horrible, but that's just how goats are, and that is why ducks are superior to goats in every way. It's just how it is. I don't make the rules. She also has a super nice survival seeds shirt, and she talked about how her plants did overall, goats aside. And it was a really great video.
It's worth it though, and you know it. Like,
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
They are stinky and they eat everything.
That's because I only have boys left.
Yeah, but the girls are stinky too. Lori's World. Miss Lori, she answered all of KK's questions.
Woohoo!
On KK's little sheet that she had me make. Miss Lori answered all of KK's questions
Yay.
For her final video. And it was very, very thorough. She talked about what she learned, what she liked and disliked, and all sorts of stuff. It was a great, great video, and it sounds like she did super well. She actually got like half a jar of kidney beans, which is great. Mountain Grandma, Miss Tammy, put up her final video, and it did really well. She accidentally grew some mystery peppers, but that's always fun. You never know what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, my experience with mystery stuff is we get mystery birds when we order birds from like Tractor
We
Supply.
ordered like a black Orpington rooster, and we got a blonde hen of something.
Not Orpington and not black.
I have no clue
not
what that is.
But that was. We've also ordered beige runner ducks and got a white pekin male, and we ordered 2 females. But you know, the mystery stuff is always great. What is the best myth? On other news, can you put the thing back up? I'm not done.
Oh,
Stop closing it.
I think that was the last one.
No. BNS Odyssey. Miss Beth has had a rough year, but almost every gardener has one of those years, and all you can do is try again next year. But it's been fun to follow along everyone's videos and progress and see how everyone's been doing. Just try again next time. Our treasured home guest. She was a guest last week with Leonard Mountain Homestead, and she ended up buying liquid fertilizer because her soil was a bust this year, and it just was not working out. But the liquid fertilizer actually did help her the second time around with the soil, and she talked about how that was very helpful for her. And Cindy Squirrel Off Grid. Miss Cindy's final video was on a bus, and it had a beautiful view. It was so fun to have her in the and everyone in the collaboration. I couldn't quite make out everything she was saying because the bus was really, really loud. But she did put the video in.
Nice.
And that was everyone that I saw. Now, again, I ran out of time because we were pretty kind of busy today. And I always do that where I just watch the videos the day of the live stream, so they're fresh
You think
in my
you'd have
mind.
learned by now?
No,
You've been doing
because
this for months.
I want them fresh in my mind, and usually I can
Okay.
get them all in. But today I just went to the final videos playlist, watched all of them, and then I ran out of time to go and check the hashtag to make sure that there weren't any others other than the final video. So I'm sorry if I missed you.
Let us know.
Let me know so that I can go back and watch it for next week. But that was all the videos. We can bring up our co-host now, because I know I did see some herbal final videos too, and some people were talking about their herbs.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad.
We were just here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken, for running the giveaway yesterday. That was a ton
Oh,
of
we had a
fun.
blast. I always like giving away Lisa's money.
Oh,
No, congratulations to all the winners, though. I'm sure some of them were surprised, and there were some awesome gifts or prizes.
Yeah, I did forward you girls an email from one of the winners. So
okay.
just,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Lila Newton. It's good to see you. Mr. Charles, did you see the final videos for the herb collaboration? I saw a couple of them up.
Yeah, I did. Who was it? Love the Land Homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had some jars filled up
Whoa, nice.
of the lemon balm and stuff. She didn't get a chance to make the tinctures or anything, but she said she is.
Yeah,
So
that's super cool.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just the other day harvested our feverfew and hyssop, but I don't know what to do with it next.
Yeah, she had lemon balm, and she also said she got a bunch of oregano and stuff.
Oh gosh, I can't tell. That's funky.
Dark Lord Bennett says that he did his a while ago.
Yes, I saw his.
I think I did see that. Dry it.
Yes, it is.
That is what it's
drying. We're just gonna let it sit in the basket until it's really, really supremely dry.
I got this thing. It's, I don't know, it's about as round as a spare tire, and it has zippers on it, and it's all screened and has different levels. And I'll stick my seeds in there and whatever herbs, depending on what they are. 'Cause some things you don't have to worry about bugs getting in them. Like mint, they won't touch it, so you can hang that up anywhere.
Nice.
So I do want to say that all the gifts we gave away that were Amazon related, not something that was personally made, but Amazon related gifts, are in the Survival Seeds section of our affiliate page down on our about page. So if you go there and go to our affiliate page, there's a section called Survival Seeds 2024, and everything that we've been giving away is in that section if you want to try and get one for yourselves. Like the seed saving binder.
Yeah, a lot of those are super cool.
Yeah.
So you just want to make that out, point out, so in case anybody wanted to buy something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Trying to go back in the chat a little bit.
So when you dry in your oregano, right? Is that what you just showed us?
That is the
Feverfew
hyssop
and
and
hyssop.
feverfew.
Okay, so when it's super ultimately dry, what do you do with it?
Well, then I
Usually,
think you take off the leaves or the flowers or whatever it is you're saving, and you just put them in a jar.
Off the
This is
stems.
our oregano.
this is oregano from last year, and all we did was
Yeah.
we waited for the stems to dry, and then we peeled it off the stems, and then we just kind of crumbled it and put it in a jar, and we have a lot of
Okay.
oregano now.
So then
So
it's
just-
regular oregano like you would get in the store,
Yeah.
basically.
So you're
Okay.
just
Yep.
Yep.
making it small and putting it into the jar.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And label your jars.
Definitely.
We've
And-
got something in the pantry. I got no idea what it is.
I've
Someone
done that.
spilled it.
And put a lid on the jars.
And you keep smelling it and like, wait a minute, what is that? And you can't
had
figure out what
that.
it is.
I don't like smelling herbs. I can't handle the smells, especially dill. I can't stand dill.
Oh, deal.
You can't
Oh.
stand dill? Oh, dill dip
Everyone
is the
else in the
best.
family loves dill, and I can't stand the smell of it.
I
like
like
it in egg salads.
Pickle
but the
juice
smells-
though. I
Like-
like
yeah,
the
it's like
smell of
pickles.
pickle juice.
Yeah, I like pickle juice.
But
Dill by
Well,
itself
that's
is very
dill.
strong,
when you get it on your fingers and stuff, when you're harvesting it,
and then it doesn't go away. Lori's World says you can also put it in oil or alcohol depending on how you plan to use
Yep.
it. We did
Yeah.
that with
Oregano oil.
oregano oil. No, it was oil infused.
Now,
Oreg-
you call it
infused
oregano.
olive oil.
How do you know it's not called oregano? I mean, oregano is not oregano.
I mean, this is how we
Yeah.
were raised.
Just don't.
How do you know it's not oregano? Everybody calls it oregano, but I say it's oregano.
Hey, Canadian Family Life, thank you for coming. And anyone else in chat that I've missed, and Garvey, thank you so much for being here. And Rebel Canners and Be Charming. Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate you guys. Let's see.
Lori's World says depends on where you're from, Jesse.
Yeah, I think it's only
Oregano.
oregano if you're from Oregon.
So that's
No.
No,
because
because
I
like I
said-
don't
I
I don't know how to
oregano.
disprove that, but I know he's wrong.
You can't.
I just can't disprove it. That's the problem.
I'm from Oregon, and we
now,
say
if you
oregano.
said it, if you said it as an Italiano, I can see him saying oregano. But if it's not Italian, it's oregano.
Yeah, well, we're
Oregano.
Italian, so
I know. So you would be saying oregano. But if you're not Italian, it's oregano, not oregano, because Italians don't say oregano.
yes, I do.
I don't know. Ask Alexander. He's
Oh.
Italian.
He's about as much Italian as this bottle here is Coke.
No, he.
No, I'm messing with you, Xander. I'm messing with you. Anyway,
That is a very strong herb right there.
Is there anything
we're
else
not
you
gonna
guys-
solve that one today.
No,
definitely not.
it wouldn't.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
Well, I did save some seeds
Yeah.
from the red kidney beans.
My sunflower seeds.
No, red kidney beans. I got 6 seeds.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
Oh.
that's 6 plants right there.
That's right. And I actually have one that's still hanging on,
Yep.
trying to grow.
We got 6
So-
that we didn't have last year, so now we're
That's
6
right.
seeds ahead.
Nice. That's awesome.
6 seeds survived.
And she's got a whole bushel of tomatoes that she can get seeds from too.
Well, they're
The small
They're-
ones. I don't know what they are.
cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
Not the Mariana. Mariana tomatoes.
Marijuana.
Actually, no.
Not marijuana.
Actually, every seed I got germinated, but because I think I started too late in the year because it gets so hot here. They
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Xander brought that up earlier too.
Exactly.
He I don't think you're right.
He's correcting people.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah, I know a
we
lot
should
of
start the
people-
seeds a little sooner for some of us.
Yeah,
And I think
down
that's-
in the hot areas, they'll start in January and February on the leafy stuff and
Mhm.
the stuff that if the heat hits it won't grow.
Yeah. So
Right.
Barb's country home is just south of us, about a half an hour. And she was harvesting like in March and April. And it's like, oh my goodness, so, I know she started like in January,
Right.
probably. So I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to be diligent on that and start that next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Early.
think we're
And that's
that's
another
send the
thing.
seeds out way earlier.
Yeah, because we have to figure out the mailing thing, but every zone needs to start in a different area, like just so that they can have their full season. And I know that because of the mailing system and because people are in such different growing zones, it didn't work out for a lot of people.
Right.
So we got to think about that. But I think it's a good suggestion. Just start earlier with the seeds.
Oh, really? Wow.
I usually start at least a few things on New Year's Eve. There's actually this gardening collaboration.
New Year's Eve.
Winter
Wow.
Indoor Gardening
Oh,
2020.
yeah,
Mike's Pieta Gardening runs that, and a lot of things we started in the winter and just carried outside.
Yeah.
So overwintering is a very good idea.
Yeah. We should probably bring up our guests.
All right. Hello, Miss
Hey,
Lori and Miss
Ann.
Ann.
Hey there.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Hello, how is everyone?
Hi.
Hello, Miss
Yeah,
Ann.
very good. How are you guys?
Couldn't be happier. Well, I could, but
Oh, Miss Ann, you pulled a K.
I did. I pulled a cat.
Hey, we match.
Yeah, there you go. And look, I have my survival seed shirt on.
yay!
That's just like mine. I got the same color.
Oh, good. I
Oh,
love this
nice.
color.
It's a pretty color.
Yeah.
It's a similar color to Bunky's.
Yeah. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you guys
Yeah.
for being on here. We're excited.
I couldn't wear that shirt. You just see a floating head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Background.
Well,
That's right.
as low as you are, that's all we see now anyway, the floating head.
Oh.
I do have something to add. I wanted to add while we were on the subject of herbs, as far as
Oh.
Lisa was wondering what to do with some of her herbs and with the oregano that you have grown and dried and pulled the leaves off the stems and so forth. I made some. I soaked oregano. I put it in a little bag, and I have soaked it in grapeseed oil.
Mhm.
Because oregano is supposed to be one of the greatest antibiotics that
Yeah.
you can, and I've strained it now here, and I unfortunately have gotten some sort of cold or bronchitis or something, so I may have to mute myself in a little bit. But I get one of these little droppers, and I take 3 drops right under my tongue a couple of times a day, and
Wow.
that's been very beneficial. And that grapeseed oil doesn't taste bad at all, especially with the oregano that is seasoned.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that
Right.
was kind
I
of cool.
That's
That's very cool.
A lot of people
I know.
use grapeseed oil because they don't like the taste of olive oil.
I don't like the taste of olive oil
Yeah.
plain, or I use a lot of castor oil, and oh my gosh, nobody wants to eat castor oil. It's nasty. So,
Oh
yeah.
no.
I remember when we were little, and we would have vitamins every morning, those little gummies. We would also take a tablespoon of fish oil.
Yeah, that's what
Gosh.
castor oil tastes like. It's so gross.
Oh gosh, I hated that stuff.
Grapeseed oil.
Anytime I could, I just wouldn't take it. We just would, we forgot.
Yeah, of course you did.
Oh
But this,
gosh, that's so
I have my
grapeseed-
oregano sitting in sunflower oil right now.
Oh,
I
Oh,
just
great.
blended oregano into sunflower oil.
That's awesome.
wow.
How long do you let it sit before you strain it?
Well, what I did was I put it in a crock pot with a towel on the bottom. I had about 5 jars, and you fill it with water, and I cooked it on low in a crock pot with the lid on it for 3 days.
Oh, cool.
And
Oh,
then,
wow. For 2 days.
it's pretty much ready to go after 3 days. But
Very cool.
if you don't want to put it in a crock pot, I would say maybe 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And you don't have to shake it or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I love one little hint. You leave the strings out. I did leave the strings out, and if you leave it out on the counter, the strings will soak up the oil and leak on your counter.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. So it was kind of a mess. But it was, and you don't have to put it in a bag. I just didn't want to strain all the little pieces of oregano out of it. So that's what I did. You could put it in tea bags, little tea bags too.
Right.
Yeah, I just threw mine in. I did the crock pot thing too, but I just put mine in the crock pot. I left the lid off and I just let it cook on low for about 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And then mine is still sitting. Mine is still seeping. It's only been 2 or maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'll strain it in another week or so. But so I did the warming to warm up the oil and the product in it, and then
Good.
I don't know why. We'll see what
No.
happens.
My crock pot is older. I got it for a wedding gift 45 years ago. So
Whoa.
yeah, one side cooks more than the other, apparently.
Oh no.
Okay.
Which I didn't know, because when you cook in a crock pot, right, you're gonna have
Right.
you just stir it all up. Well, I didn't have
Yeah.
a clue. So a couple of the jars were good and dark like this. And a couple of the jars were not. They were clear. So they're sitting in a cardboard box underneath the bed, just soaking. So
You just spin the crock pot around a few times.
I guess so. You're right. But it is time. It's time for a new one.
Yeah. Well, that's cool that you've had that one for so long.
Yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. I was sad to know that it doesn't work like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So.
But
So
this
not.
was-
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
so one
I
of
was going to
the
say not. No, not to change the subject,
Let's do it.
but to change the subject. I wanted to say, Lori, how beautiful those items that you donated to the giveaway were, especially the clock. Oh my goodness,
The trivet. Yeah.
the clock.
those are
Well, I'm not
beautiful.
much in the trivets, but the clock looked amazing.
I won the
and-
trivets.
Oh,
Mention
yeah,
the
I
trivets.
got it. Here, I'll
those
show you.
trivets are beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are for you, Miss Ann.
That's
Because
right.
Jesse's not in the kitchen.
I'm not in the kitchen, no, but I do watch the time. I have to watch the time all the time. Get it? I have to watch the time all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that was something that
Yeah.
Grace didn't win.
I'm
Isn't
gonna,
that beautiful?
I'm just gonna,
You won that,
Oh.
Ann?
Wow.
So I won the trivets.
Oh.
That is
No, no.
beautiful.
Oh, it's a set.
No,
It
it's
was
a
a
set.
set.
You won both, Miss Ann.
I did.
Yes,
Yeah,
you won the
yeah.
clock and the trivet.
It was
Yay.
a clock and trivet set.
Oh, Jen,
That's
I don't
so
know where the
pretty.
trivet has gone to.
Oh, I thought she dropped it.
Oh,
that's so pretty.
That is so pretty, Miss Lori makes some
it was
beautiful
gorgeous,
art.
and it's huge. It's
I
gonna be
Yeah,
was
the
nice.
picture didn't look like it was that big. It looked like it was a small thing. That thing's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
now.
yeah.
It's 12 inches. It's on a 12-inch record.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's reduce, reuse, recycle. So I pour them on records. I
Oh,
have
so
paint
it's
out
like
of
the-
it.
like the
Frankie's
resin?
clock is secretly a record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
it's paint, and then it's got a coating on top of it.
what was the
How
record?
fun.
Yeah, what's
Oh,
the record?
I don't know. I have no idea. Some old Reader's Digest. You know,
Oh.
you buy the sets and you get like 8 or 10 records in a set. So I
Oh,
buy
okay.
them used.
Oh,
and,
Okay.
Did you say Reader's Digest? Those are selling for $500 each on eBay.
Oops.
Lori, you got rid of a Reader's Digest.
No, yeah, a whole bunch of them I did. And I had a
Oh.
bunch that were in, I don't know what language. I think it was Polish or something. There was a
Oh,
whole
no.
bunch of, but you know, you
The
buy
Polish ones are going for $1,000.
I bet they are. I bet they
Oh,
are.
my
'Cause they're
goodness.
so rare. And I got some of the old, the old 68. Is that what they were called? The one, not the 45s and not the
There
not the
were
LPs, but kind of in the
78,
middle
yeah.
size.
78. Yeah, 78.
I
I
bought
got
a bunch
some
of
those too.
Yeah,
I bought
those
a
are dime
bunch
a
of
dozen.
dishes at a yard sale, a big, like 3 or 4 boxes full, and
Cool.
I brought them home, and I was checking them out and everything, and I'm unwrapping them because they're all wrapped in old newspaper and stuff, and I happened to look at the newspaper, and it was the day Elvis died.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Yeah, and I was like,
Wow.
oh wow.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Some people say he's still alive.
He's on
Yeah.
the moon.
The king is back.
Yeah.
Speaking of
We're actually
giveaways, I'm having a seed giveaway on the 20th, which is Wednesday. I think it's 2:00 Pacific time.
Awesome.
The 23rd.
Live stream, seed giveaway, chat, whatever.
Yay.
I just wanted
I'd
to.
love to see that.
Bunky brought this over. She actually got one of Miss Annandale's or one of Miss Lori's.
Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful.
Miss Lori's. Yeah.
Yep.
How
I
pretty.
was pretty.
Yeah, it's a little bit off time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
See?
sweet. That's
It fell off the
beautiful.
wall.
That's an Elvis Presley record.
Oh my goodness.
And then,
No, none of them were good records.
oh,
Believe me, they are so scratched up and so beat up and worn out that
oh.
So I can't like
nobody
put this
would
on a
want
vinyl
to play
record
them
player,
anyway. So
and no one's gonna, and it's not gonna play.
No, it won't.
yeah,
play.
no, it's not gonna play.
And then mom got this one.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Oh, that's
gorgeous.
pretty.
How pretty.
Yeah.
That's
The
beautiful.
kitchen trivet.
Yep.
Looks like one of those.
They're
lucky.
heat proof. The trivets are heat proof,
They
and
are.
so you can use
They
it in
were.
the kitchen.
They're,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
They are. They're heat proof. You can use it. It's usable art. So
Awesome.
But they're so pretty that you almost don't want to. You just want to like set it somewhere and look at it.
Oh,
yeah, they are pretty. I
my
like them.
favorite kind of art.
It looks like the carnation flowers. Remember the carnations, the pink and white
It
carnation?
kind of does.
Oh,
The edge of the
sometimes,
petal.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you put it close to the camera, you can
Very
see it looks like a carnation.
Yeah.
Where's your sky last week?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were able to see them. There was a beautiful you could see the northern lights from our house. And we got some really cool pictures of it, and a friend of ours got some really great pictures of it. It was just beautiful. Like even without the camera, you could see the reds and the greens in the sky. It was beautiful.
That's nice. We were at the ocean at the beach, and I couldn't see it with my bare eyes. I could see it with the camera, but the kids were going, "Grandmama, you can't see that? It's all pink up there." I'm going, I maybe got old eyes.
It's definitely more drastic through a camera. That was such a cool thing.
Mhm.
We could kind
I
of see it
bet.
without, but it was so much cooler with the camera.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Was.
So one question that I wanted to ask you guys as the panelists for tonight, how did the seed selections work out for you guys?
Lori, you want to go?
Well, I know that my husband thinks you guys are trying to starve us to death because of and sent us because you sent us things that we don't eat.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
squash, for example. And we don't eat a lot of beets either, so I wasn't super sad that my beets didn't grow.
Oh,
Although I
goodness.
do use them in teas. I dry them and put them in teas and squash. Other than that, the seeds worked great for me. I love growing tomatoes, peppers, and onions are essential in my garden. Like those are
Awesome.
must-haves. If I could grow nothing else, those would be the things I would grow. I would put one plant in each pot, and that would be it, right? If
Right.
that's all I could do, that's what I would do. Was
That's
just
great.
those.
That's
So
wonderful.
that was perfect. And
Well,
let's see, what was the other? The beans. The beans, I don't know. I mean, they grew okay, and I ended up with probably enough to make chili. I could probably make a batch of chili with what I have. But I don't know if I'll grow them again. For one thing, they were bushes. I thought they were going to climb, so I put them in places where they could climb. And I hope and then they ended up being bushes. And so then they bushed out where I didn't want them to be, right? That was one thing. And then they were red, like they didn't take long. I could have probably planted them as a second bean crop.
Yeah.
And harvested all my green beans and then threw those in and let them, because you want to wait till they dry on the vine, right, to pick them.
Right.
So mine
Right.
were
Yeah.
drying in like the beginning of July or something. I was picking my kidney beans. So
Wow.
yeah, like super early, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
could have probably done a whole other batch of green beans had I known that, or beans. So I might do that next year.
Okay. Awesome.
And then throw some drying bush beans in.
Yeah.
And then I
Very
can
cool.
just ignore them for the rest of the year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So So did
How about
did
you,
Bunky
Ann?
already,
What?
so did Bunky already pick all the beans or the ones that were dried? Did she already pick them apart?
So
The ones that
were
dried,
dry,
yeah.
she did, but there's still more growing.
Okay,
Cool.
because I saw a video. of how one lady, she get all her beans. You know, they're on the little stalks, right? The little whatever pouches, what do you call them? Pods. She just puts them in a Ziploc bag or a gallon bag and just does like this. She rubs it again, and then they all come out of the pod. Then all the beans are done. She did like
Oh.
Yeah.
like 50 like 50 pods, and in about 20 seconds she goes puts them in the bag and
Yeah.
rubs them real good,
And then
and then
you gotta
all the
pick
beans
the
come
pods
out the
out.
bottom,
Yeah.
and then you just pull the little pods out.
Yeah.
I said,
Nice.
I'm doing
people
that
over there
next year
picking them
for sure.
doing one by one.
Well, that
I
would
did
be
it
a
one
good
by one.
that would be a good experiment to be able to see
Right.
how that works.
Well, that's why I asked if she had already done all her beans. If she had, she might try that. Put the
She should.
pods in a gallon bag
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
rub them on your hands or
Yeah.
on the table or whatever. And
Yeah.
there you go. You got all
I'll
your beans.
definitely be trying it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, our seeds,
Ann.
our seeds did great. Almost everything did really, really well. Now, my first batch of seeds that you sent me went on a trip. They went around the world or something before they got to me. So you sent a second batch, which was lovely, and they all came just fine. And then
Yeah,
about a week
nice.
and a half after that, I got the first batch that you had sent.
Wow.
They were a little worse for the wear, but I did receive them, so that's
More
good.
seeds.
That was great. It was, we're always thrilled to have more seeds.
Right.
And the kidney beans did fantastic. I didn't plant but 2 in my little survival garden. I planted the rest of them out in the big land of plenty, but we were trying very hard to have not cross-pollinated plants this year. So I kept my little survival garden away. I planted a little bit of everything in it to be able to keep it away from everything else to not cross-pollinate.
Very cool.
Yeah, so they did fantastic. I've got a Ziploc bag of kidney bean seeds. I like Lori could have had a second crop probably because ours ripened pretty quickly. Hey, Scott, glad to see you.
Hi.
And
Hey, Scott.
then I had never grown Mariana tomatoes or Roma tomatoes, any kind of meaty tomatoes. I had always grown like the sandwich tomatoes. And so Mariana tomatoes were fantastic to cook with. I did save a lot of seeds, but they were awesome as far as making tomato sauce or tomato paste or even ketchup. They were anything that you wanted thick, then they were very meaty tomatoes and did very well. I've never grown the butternut squash before. And so to have that, I had to go and learn how to fix it. I don't know what you do with it. I don't know what you do with it. I mean, man, you split those things open, and of course you get one butternut squash, and it has a million seeds in the middle of it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
Oh yeah.
but lay it out and cover it with some cinnamon, salt and pepper, and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Oh, bake it. It was so good and so easy. Those were
So
delicious.
good.
They were
Nothing beats butternut squash with cinnamon on it.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Do you add a little butter too as well?
I did at the end, at the very end. I
Nice.
didn't put
Nice.
butter on. I just drizzled a little bit of oil over them for the seasoning to stick, and a little bit of cinnamon, just a tiny bit of sugar, and some salt and pepper. And then at the end, just kind of rubbed butter on them. Oh, that was almost,
Wow.
I think that might be my new favorite squash now because that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good squash.
Very
And then
cool.
the pepperoncini peppers did not bloom for a long time. I thought, oh man, I'm not going to have any peppers, but I ended up having several that were wonderful. However, my idea of pepperoncini peppers were the little peppers that you put on your subs and sandwiches. Or
That's what I was
put
hoping
them.
for.
And wowzers, they were spicy.
They
And
were
I was a big person.
spicy.
Uh,
So it
I'm
was
so
like,
sorry,
okay,
y'all.
this is a hotter version of jalapenos, and I'm not really into that spicy stuff. My husband absolutely loves them. He just loved them to pieces. So that was good. My What else did we have? We had tomatoes and beans and squash and peppers and onions. My Walla Walla onions. That they didn't work here, unfortunately. I did
Oh,
plant some other. They came up and they were like one little stick here and one little stick there. And then I took your mother's advice and tried trimming them. And then they were just short little sticks. They never did develop. That was probably operator error, I would imagine, but
oh
you know,
no.
they didn't like that. So yeah, I didn't have any Walla Walla onions. I still don't know what they taste like or look like. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Is there something else that I'm missing? Beets.
Beets.
Oh, nice.
We
Nice.
put our beets out in the land of plenty because you can't really cross pollinate those that much.
Yeah.
And
Organic gardening.
and man, they were awesome. We're beet people. We really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And they grew like crazy. And so we were able to have I prefer Harvard beets, and I'm not you girls like the beet greens. I'm not crazy about the beet greens. Sorry.
They're really good if you cook them. I gotta
In
make the
soup.
beets.
They're good in soup.
I gotta make the recipe.
real good for you.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And we do, like use Swiss chard and things like that
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
sandwiches and stuff. I enjoy that, but I just couldn't. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So like, I like them cooked. I don't think we've really done much with fresh beet leaves, but we do a soup with just water, beets, beet greens, and northern beans, great northern beans. And you just add like salt and pepper, and it turns out really, really good.
I'll have to
Yeah.
try that.
I'll have
Just
to make a video on it.
dehydrate them and then turn them
Yeah,
into
you
a
can dehydrate 'em.
powder, and then you can just stick them into whatever.
The
Yeah,
big
that's what Miss
the
Lori
big
did for her
greens you're
squash.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Because they're so good for you.
they are. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, gosh, I mean, my chickens are really healthy now because
My chickens are
I
really
just
healthy.
didn't know exactly how to do it. They're less slimy than chard. We use it when we make beans and greens. Okay.
Yeah.
And all right. Well, that's good. Buttercup and kabocha squash aren't squash, really. They taste like sweet potato pie. Kind of
Oh.
squashy. Okay.
Yeah.
I like squash. We grew summer squash and winter squash and spaghetti squash, and our butternut squash. I just pulled the vines out a couple of weeks ago because it was crazy. They stopped when it got so hot here. They stopped producing blooms.
Yeah.
And then it cooled down a little bit and the vines came back to life, y'all. We still got another butternut squash or two off of
Oh,
that.
nice.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
That
The
is awesome.
treasure, I mean, the treasure was knowing that I was growing your seeds, and Lisa was growing your seeds, and Charles was growing your seeds, and Lori was growing your seeds. And from all over the world, we were all growing from the same pack. And
Yeah.
I
It
saved,
was super fun.
I saved squash seeds, tomato seeds, kidney beans, pepper seeds, but no
Onion.
beets, and then I didn't have the onions. So it was fun. We had a
That's
great time.
awesome. That is awesome.
I'll be saving the onion seeds. I didn't have much success with my onions this year, but I am leaving a couple in to overwinter, and so then they'll produce seeds next year.
Right. And the way that you
Nice.
get onion seeds, if I'm correct, right? You let them grow and then they'll bloom.
So I
And
get that little bulb.
the little flowers and
Like a
bulbs, you can just
dandelion.
kind of shake them in place if you want to,
Yep.
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun. That was really cool. So
Yeah.
this was fun, and I appreciate the fact that all of your friends and followers from all over the place joined in with us. It was just it's cool.
Yeah, it was so fun that everyone was doing like the same stuff, and you can see how everyone's doing the same thing differently. I thought it was a really, really fun thing to just like watch.
So Miss Ann, do you have any suggestions for next year's 2025 Survival Seeds?
In our area, I need my seeds a little bit earlier is the only thing. As far as
You mean the first set or the second set?
yeah,
Either.
either set. That first set, like I said, it took a trip around the world. So I don't know. I may have gotten them in plenty of time. I don't really at this time know if we're specifically going for seeds. Beets might not be the first thing for seeds, but beets are very nutritious. So what I gathered was that we were going for both seed saving and nutrition.
Yeah, that was the original intent. And I know we got a lot of seeds out there late. And some things.
Well, gosh, honey, you didn't think there were going to be 500 people that joined you. My God. And that's what we did. And my lemon balm is still growing, Bushcraft family.
Oh, that's good. You won't be able to get rid of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I hope so.
It'll come back every year.
Yeah, and Mike has a suggestion from Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Says 1 hot, 1 sweet pepper, 1 cherry, and 1 slicing tomato. Yeah.
I like the variety. That actually sounds really good. Thank you for the suggestion.
We'll write it down. What about you, Miss Lori? Do you have any suggestions for next year?
Well, something that I use a lot of and that I've been working on growing is celery. And so I would definitely add some celery because it's such a common thing to grow. The one thing that I don't like about it is it takes forever. It's one of those seeds that I have to start in January to be able to harvest like mid-August.
Right.
So it takes forever for it to grow, but it's a good one. And the other thing, well, a lot of perennials you can't send seeds out to, but I know that for everybody's garden, I recommend adding perennials if you can. If it's your own yard, your own garden, start adding perennials to it, like strawberries and asparagus and all those kinds of things. They can grapes and stuff like that. Like it can take a while before they start producing, but once they do, you've got it for at least, a good 20 years or so.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, like turmeric, but that's not a seed. Well,
right.
Well, you could do a seed.
Start from a root.
Yeah, but it's better to start from root. Yeah.
Right.
I've got turmeric and ginger growing right now inside.
Ooh.
Inside.
Inside.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's too cold outside here.
I mean, I've had some sprout on my kitchen table, but they're not exactly plants.
Well, I took those sprouts and put them in some dirt, and I water them now and then. And
there you go. Good.
But you have to start those from a root.
So, girls, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Oh.
When you were, because it was an honor to be able to grow like out of the same seed packet. Everybody that's on here and everyone that's out there to be able to grow the same types of seeds. But was that difficult for you? Because instead of that, maybe, I mean, it was fun. It was great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it would be easier for everyone to say, here's a list of what we're growing and get your own seeds kind of thing. Because
so I did think about that.
Let them pick 6 out or something like that.
So I did think about that, and I think I liked the idea of trying to grow the same things, but I think I might in the future try to break that up based on like
area.
Like if you live in a hotter climate, you might need a different start date and a different kind of onion than someone that grows in a colder climate. Because one of the nice things of everyone trying to grow the same thing is that you use the same pieces of advice,
right?
And you end up with the same end result. And so it's easier to track down where something goes wrong if you're trying to grow the same thing as other people.
Right.
And
And
it was
if
just
all the
cooler.
seeds are from the same place, then if all the seeds are busts, then we know what's wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Good
So
point.
I did like the idea of just everyone trying to do the same thing, but I think I might need to alter it just because people grow in such vastly different zones. Because onions work really good up here because they're pretty cold resistant, but they don't work so well in hotter climates because they tend to just not do anything if it gets hot.
Right. They don't work well in wet climates either because they have to be
Yeah,
drying out when they're.
So they're
they
very
towards the
touchy.
turned
end of their
into
life.
yellow matchsticks for me.
Oh,
They just
That's
burned
awful.
right up.
Yeah.
oh boy.
They grew really good in the house, but when I took them outside, uh, even when because I usually harden them up for like 3 or 4 days before they go out, and double it every time the time for them to go out, and
Right.
then when it was time for them to actually be planted and in the ground, whoop, we had a 90-degree day, and they got
That's
gone.
awful.
And they said, okay, let's go in the sauna.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, where we're gonna look at like the different zones, the different sectors of the world, and determine like long day versus short day onions. Will this tomato grow here? Will it grow here? That kind of thing.
Or yeah,
Wow.
you could do zones, like
Yeah.
have different seeds for each zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking
Yeah.
about that too because there's also zones that are kind of similar to each other. The big difference seems to be like around 6. Like if it's lower than 6, then it's going to be very different than if it's like higher than 6. But that might not be the number that I end up going with.
It's
That's
gonna
just
take
like,
her a lot of research that I'm
I
not
was
gonna be
getting ready
part
to
of.
say, honey, oh my gracious.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
just
think
want
there
it
was
to
that
work.
much into it either because
That is
I because my first go at the seeds, I said, okay, yeah, these sound good, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I have to think if they're going to make a tincture or something with it. It's a little bit harder then because you have to get something that's kind of safe for everybody, and
Right.
then it's a lot harder for the medical part of it, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something to think about with it too. Because I think with the seeds that we picked this year, what I was trying to prioritize was nutrition and ease of reproduction.
Yeah.
So like I wanted the ones that fruit really easily. I wanted the ones that were really good for you, which is why we picked the beets because you can use like every part of it if you have to.
Mhm.
And so like that's kind of what I was focusing on, and I was really hoping that like it would somehow round that out so you had a little bit of everything. But it doesn't grow very well in every area ever. But the nice thing about it is that for a lot of people, most of them did work. But there
Mhm.
are some things that do need to be adjusted. And I liked what Miss Diana was saying, where if you divide it in 3 sections and then just do like maybe 3 different groups, because most of the people who participate are either Canada or United States. And so that's like 3 or 4 sections that you could play with.
I'm not
That's
gonna
a
rain
lot
on
of
your
work, honey. That's a lot
It,
of
So-
work.
it is a lot of work.
Hey, I'm not gonna rain on her parade. She likes research, so yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
one of the ideas I want to discuss also, since we're not in the giveaway part now,
Yeah.
was possibly going to one of the companies, one of the heirloom companies like Baker Creek or whatever, and now that we have a record, we have videos to show of what we did for this past year.
Right.
And go to
Yeah.
the company instead, because I know what you did. You ordered a ton of seeds, you repacked them, you packaged them, and sent them out. Well, if we got with a company like Baker Creek or any heirloom place, even one in Canada, and say, hey, listen, we're going to do this collaboration, and as they want to join, they just call Baker Creek or send them an email and say, hey, we want to join Survival Seeds 2025. They send it directly to the employee or to the people that want to join,
To the collaborator.
to the collaborator, straight from Baker Creek or from wherever the heirloom is. That way it's not double and it doesn't delay.
Right.
time, because then you don't even. I mean, you could order 500 seeds and only use 100. Well,
Right.
they're dealing with millions and millions and millions of orders all the time. Maybe we could work a deal out where they do we buy from them directly, or I mean exclusively, and then as let's say 20 people called them, well then they would bill us for 20 people, us being Survival Seeds.
Right. That would be a really good
It's
addition.
not a bad idea.
Because then that would eliminate the problem of it getting crushed in the mail, because this is their company and they know what they're doing as far as shipping goes.
Right.
I think, assuming they say yes, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
But there's
Well,
also
yeah,
some,
we'd have to go to several different companies and ask them what their thought is. Maybe they have a different idea.
yeah.
I
think
tried one company, and they just was going to do 10% off. And I said, that's with the amount of people that would be doing it, we'd have to have a little bit better than that.
Yeah, and that's kind of going back to Dark Lord Manet's point a little while ago. One thing about this collaboration that was so cool is that, like, you're giving people with not very much space to garden, not very much budget to garden, an opportunity to be able to grow something for themselves. And I think if they have to buy their own seed, that becomes an issue for some people. And that's why I really liked just sending out the seeds ourselves, just because it gives everyone a chance to see that, like, gardening is something that you can do regardless of your situation. And having to pay for it out of pocket, each collaborator, while it's not a huge deal, it might like exclude some people who just don't have that.
Right. And we could still work the same deal out. Hey, listen, anybody who orders seeds, we want to pay for it. So you were going to pay for it anyway, right? So if somebody wanted, especially someone who couldn't afford to go buy the 6 different sets of seeds, they would get their seeds and then bill you.
And then bill us. Yeah, that's a good thought.
MI Gardener is a great place to think about. He loves
MI Gardener. The rainbow seeds from Canada. Canada has rainbow seeds. There's 3 or 4 different
company like 30 miles away, Berlin Seed Company.
How do you spell that?
I would have thought about it at the time. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but because I was at that summit thing, and that would have been a perfect thing to talk to him about.
Yeah, that's cool.
What is that seed company? I was trying to write it down and I didn't catch the first
Berlin.
word.
If
Berlin.
Rebel Canners is in here, I think she knows somebody from there too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we'll have to get in contact.
Berlin, like the city.
Yeah, Berlin, Berlin, Ohio.
And then the one that we were sending seeds out for was So True Seeds out of North Carolina.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's another organic.
But they're not up and running yet.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying that's another company that they were affected by the hurricane, but they're an organic seed company that we ordered the seeds through. We might be able to work something out with them as well.
I appreciate the.
It's worth exploring. I mean,
sure,
definitely. You guys ordering 5,000 packages of seeds, repackaging them, putting them in little packets, and it just takes a lot of you guys don't have the time for that.
Yeah,
and I'm not
that took a while.
Ran out.
You don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep your mother and your dad happy,
which is always
a good thing.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's right. And Coach from Garden State Gardener has a personal relationship with MI Gardener as well. So
right,
you might reach out to him.
That'd be very cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
that's a great suggestion.
That would be fun.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm opening all my tabs.
She's got this.
I have so many things. Like I have my notes app, I have a spreadsheet. I'm trying to take down notes and I'm opening all the wrong stuff. Okay.
So do you guys have any things that you would like? So every week, every Sunday, we've been having guests up on the live to talk about different things that can span from nutritional value to saving seeds. Do you guys have any topics that you think you would like to hear someone speak on?
How
to grow money trees.
that would be
great.
Oh, that would be a miracle.
If someone figures that out.
No, there are money trees.
Well, I tell you what, Mike's Chaotic Gardening has been a wonderful follower, someone that is very strong in the chat, and he is such a big indoor gardener.
Yeah.
That world is just opening up for me as in just the last few years, just the last couple of years of being able to grow things indoors. He grows everything that you can grow outside. He grows
Right?
inside. And I
Mhm.
would love to hear him explain that a little bit if he was be up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's a
I was
good
actually
idea.
like putting together a list of people that I wanted to interview, and he was one of them. So
Yeah,
if you're
good.
interested, if you're interested, let us know.
And
The
also,
or-
Dee from Dee's Garden Adventures is talking, Diana is talking about saving seeds techniques. Y'all,
Yeah.
there is a deal. I mean, that's a deal.
Yeah.
That's a process that you do have
It
to
is.
learn how
Yeah.
to save seeds. I was blessed to have Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, help me to learn. There's several different techniques to save tomato seeds, and then to be able to know which ones are fertile when you finish. Which,
That was such a cool trick.
yes, if they float, they're not fertile. If they sink to the bottom of the jar, they are. Who knew?
That's so
I didn't
cool.
know that.
You can do the same thing with eggs. If an egg is spoiled, rotten, it floats.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
Deanna, I'm sorry, Deanna. I didn't know that it was okay. Now I know. That's good.
Yeah, a lot of people think you just go to a store and get a fruit or a vegetable and just take the seeds
Plant
out and
that.
grow it, and they'll grow.
Right.
A
That's
lot.
not usually the case.
Yeah, there's a lot of different variations to save seeds.
Yeah.
That's,
And I mean, because our weather is so unpredictable everywhere and it changes so much each
Oh, yeah.
year, it's getting harsher, and they're changing the grow zones because of the different heat and coolness that's out there. It would be really important to be able to know how to grow some food on the inside of your home if you need to.
Yeah.
Just something inside.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
to be able to save the seeds as well. So I think that would
I
be
never thought that they would move Tornado Alley.
right.
Right.
That's the thing that really surprised me.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so it's important to
Yeah.
learn those things, those skills. And what do you do if you're growing hydroponically and you don't have any more of those little pods? How can you make one of your own pods that go in the baskets? Because personally, those pods are expensive.
Yeah.
And to put the seeds in, and can you reuse them? You know, what's the deal with that? But
Right.
Yeah, it's a
Mike
good idea.
Chaotic has a lot of ideas.
yeah.
What about you, Miss Lori? Do you have any topics you'd like to see touched on?
Well, one thing that's always important that wasn't mentioned is different ways of using the harvest.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so knowing how to cook, knowing how to grow stuff is one thing, but what do you do with it after you've grown it?
Yeah, like Miss Lori trying to figure out what to do with the squash.
That's right.
That was such a fun ordeal. That was
Well,
so
and
fun
what
to
do you
watch.
do with your tomatoes if you have a small garden and you only are growing one tomato plant? How do you get enough tomatoes to make a batch or something, right? Like, what do you do?
Right.
How do you
You go to the farmer's
pre-preserve?
market.
Ah,
Yeah, you know, but stuff like that.
That's a good idea. Okay.
That's right.
Give it your
That's
funny
right.
bone. Oh, KK hit her funny bone.
there's a trivet right here, and I
You hit your
elbowed it.
funny
Oh no! The deadly trivet.
Oh my gosh. Did you
I'll try
see
not
that?
to do that when I receive mine. Thank you.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No
And
hitting the funny bone.
Another thing, I'd love to know how to like set up just a basic hydroponic set.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hydroponics
Like
would be good. to talk
basics of that, because I don't know anything about it, but I'd love to. I know it's another great way to grow indoors, and I've
It
been
is.
learning more about growing indoors the last couple of years since I've gotten an indoor setup, and
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
And we can particularly, I can maybe help you out. You've got the La Pot, that's a water system that you're working with that company, but there's some other hydroponic system companies that I might be able to
Yeah.
talk to if someone
That'd be
can
so cool. That'd be very cool.
Mhm. For
which
sure.
is pretty awesome. But I mean, like when I got the hydroponic system and those pots and things, my aunt ordered it for me, the first one, and it came with 2 little things of food. Well, it didn't come with directions. It was A and B. And so I just put A and B in there because I didn't know,
Hey, it works.
do you put both? Do you put one? Do you put one for leafy and one for flowers? I just threw it all in there, and I got some stuff, but not
That's what we
everything.
did. So a lot of the lettuce and basil that we grew in our let pot did really well, and we just put it in there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, good. So I wasn't the only one that just said,
I
okay,
didn't know what to do with it either. You're like, oh
okay,
well.
good. Yep, that's right.
It's
That
a
was
very
fun.
good. It's a very good hydroponic set, though.
Hey, it wouldn't be sent if it wasn't for the plants. So, you know.
There you go. There you go, Trey.
For sure.
Well,
Oh, good, Nanny Tam. Good. Nanny Tam
The
said that.
other topic that I'm like,
oh, that's
can't
great,
think of
Miss
anything
Nanny.
else.
Okay.
So,
Did you guys like the panel idea where we had a different speaker every week, or is there something else you guys would rather be doing some weeks?
I enjoy meeting and seeing new people. So
Yeah, I really liked having the information that we were getting from the different people who were on every time. It was something different every time, and so it kept it
Yeah.
interesting. It wasn't just the same.
everyone
same
has
stuff.
their own perspective. Of course, with our 2 co-hosts up here, they were a wonderful addition each
They
time.
were.
Yeah.
They really were.
you guys always have the best things to add.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That was fun.
It was.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. So with the different panel people, then you get the different ideas, and they're in different areas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Right. And I was trying to get that very spread out. And thank you guys for your additional topics. I'm going to see what I can do with those.
Yeah.
And this should be a lot of fun.
Well, it is really awesome because it depends on the weather. Wherever you live, my soil is different from people that live across the street from me because it depends on what they're putting in their soil that makes a difference.
Right.
The weather that you get, the number of trees that you have around, the types of trees that you have around your yard or your garden, or if you grow in pots or those types of things. So it was really interesting to hear everybody else's perspectives. To me,
Right.
Yeah, I really liked it too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What are you? I forgot what I was going to ask.
Oh, no.
That's like the my neighbor across the alley over here. He grew corn, and he had planted his corn first, and I planted mine probably a month later, and
Oh,
I use my rabbits for fertilizer basically, and I poured the first batch on, and they tripled the size of his, and he has, I mean, his ended up maybe about 2 feet tall, his
Oh,
corn,
wow.
and mine was like 7-8 feet tall.
wow.
And he said, what kind of seeds are you using? I said, just normal seeds. He said,
Yeah.
how did they get growing? And I pointed over to the rabbits, and he said, well, what do the rabbits do?
They
And
poop.
I said, they poop.
Hey, if it works, it works.
I bet your neighbor wanted some of that poop.
Yeah, I told him, I said, if you want any, grab you some. I said, best way to do it is just stick it in a bucket and then fill it with water and let it set overnight, and then mix it up and pour it on.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And you can tell the difference when you put something like that in compared to not touching it, just letting it grow.
Mhm.
And then when you use something on it, it just like doubles in size.
Right.
That's so cool. And we do that not with rabbit poo because we don't have any rabbits, but with our garden scraps or our kitchen scraps.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll put in a bucket and fill it with water, and that's what we like to call our super juice.
Yeah. You can just use grass clippings.
Yep. And you just feed things back to the earth. That's
Hi, Thrifty Endeavors and Bubble Bibble. One thing I really liked growing was worm tea.
yes.
We got a bunch of worms in a 5-gallon bucket, and every so often we'd throw in our banana peels or our leftovers into the bucket, and the worms would munch away at it. And then at the bottom of the bucket, we would get worm tea, and it was so good for the plants.
That's right. And you can do that in an apartment. I mean,
Yeah.
there are things, and people have some bunnies in apartments as well. You know, they're. I asked Worth if he would let me get some rabbits. I don't want any rabbits. So, because eventually they have to harvest them, and
Tastes like chicken.
it does.
Pretty
taste like-
much. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think Little Miss Bunky would be okay with it if we ever ate bunnies.
No, well,
Just tell her it's chicken.
yeah. Well, they all are supposed to have a job.
I had a really cool idea, and I don't think she'll like my idea,
Oh, dear.
but I wanted to throw it at all of you guys and see what you thought. There were 6 survival seeds, and okay. There were 6 survival seeds, and there's not really a great way to use tomatoes, peppers, butternut squash, kidney beans, onions, and beets all together.
Ew.
But I was thinking maybe we should find one, like a super drink,
That's gross.
where you just blend all of them and you put something in it to kill the flavor, and then you get all of the nutrient benefits in one drink.
Well, or you could consider making get 6 seeds of everything you would put in a salad. You know, your leafy greens, your radishes, onions, peppers, bell peppers, everything you would put in a salad, except the croutons. Can't grow croutons.
Or the
Sad.
salt.
You know what I'm saying? And do a salad collaboration. Everything you grow goes in the salad.
Yeah, so I did think about doing like a salad or a salsa garden.
That's a good idea.
and 3 of the 6 seeds actually do work really well for salsa
And salad.
Yeah.
and salad. But the reason I didn't end
Or
up going
salad,
with that is because if you do a salad garden or a salsa garden, that becomes like one of the only things you can really make with it. While using those, because then you have like 6 seeds that are very similar in one area, and so that's mostly a fresh thing or mostly a cooked thing, and they don't cross over very well.
Right.
And like it didn't work, but I wanted the pepperoncini peppers to be good for canning or fresh, and now they're not really good for either. Unless you like
They go
spicy.
good in a salsa though.
It would be good in a salsa.
And that's the thing, like he's saying, but all you have to do is add lettuce.
Right.
And then because you already have the peppers and the tomatoes.
Right.
And the
And a lot of
onions.
that stuff will go good on a hamburger.
Yeah.
And so that is a good thought. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything that you've had, I've had beans on my salads before, and beets on my salads, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
And Lisa pickled her beets.
Oh,
good for her.
Well,
pickled
the
beets are amazing.
We got them at the farmer's market. Mine
Yeah.
didn't. Mine germinated, but they didn't grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But,
so
yeah, I
we
like
went to
the
the farmer's
pickled
market and
beets.
got the pick and
And
she
they were like,
pickled them.
they were like this big.
Well,
Oh,
nice.
yum.
I remember
They're actually
that.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
I
They
remember
have a lot of
some-
nitrogen.
You need potassium.
Yeah. Words cannot explain how much I like pickled food.
No.
Pickled beets. They're just all amazing.
Pickled eggs.
We
I
actually
think mom
have
did
those.
make those. Those were pretty good too.
Pickled pig's feet.
How about pickled pickles?
I love pickles, but why
pickles.
would you eat pig's feet?
That's the
feet.
thing. That's down
They-
south.
Yeah, they pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pickled cucumber.
Mm-hmm. This is why I don't like shrimp. Like you don't know what they've been in.
What they been in?
If you can get past the fact that you're eating their knuckles and things like that on the pig
Ugh,
skin,
no,
not terrible.
Yeah, that's why I used to hate when there's a pig's foot in the butter beans. I don't like butter beans either, but that's down south. That's a big thing.
Mhm,
Oh.
seasoning meat.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing
Oh,
like
what was I-
pulling a foot out of a big pot of beans.
That's awful.
No.
One thing I do remember is, you know how if you get a rotisserie chicken, you got the legs, and everybody likes the chicken drumsticks? Like, everybody likes those, and you always want to get them. I don't remember where we got turkey legs, and it was huge.
Oh,
So big.
they
And
have
the
that down
big
here at
thing.
the fairs. The
Mhm.
Yeah.
smoked turkey legs.
Yeah.
But they're not really
big.
turkey legs, they're pork. You ever seen a turkey leg? A turkey leg ain't no bigger than this stick right here. That's a turkey leg. And the ones you're seeing at the market, those are hog legs.
Oh no.
God,
Yeah.
drumstick.
Go out there and look at your turkeys. I bet your leg ain't no bigger than that. It's got three
Yeah,
little.
but
You
it's
got
like
three
for
little.
the leg, sure, and it
Three
is
little-
bigger than that. They are
Yeah.
bigger
But the
than that.
upper part where the
Yeah, it's the
Where
thigh.
his
That's
bone-
thigh, yeah,
That's
the
the
meat.
foot.
Yeah. No, the leg is actually the skinny
Uh-oh,
part.
you
So
know
you're eating
leg.
the thigh.
Oh,
How dare you?
Emu legs.
No. Their legs are so long though. They're like huge.
Hey, you can always use them for drumsticks.
No. You know
There's
what you're
two of
not
them.
gonna get any of anywhere?
What?
Emu wings. They don't have wings. They've got like you might get like
Look.
one chicken nugget out of an emu wing.
a nugget.
Look, if buffaloes can provide wings, so can emus.
Buffalo wings.
Emus,
Just saying.
you're gonna get two little nuggets out of their wings, and that's it.
But you have to get baby emus first.
Oh my gracious.
That way they can, you can eat them eventually.
No. They're too cute.
Tastes like
Have you seen
chicken.
a baby emu?
It tastes like chicken.
Have you seen a baby emu? You can't eat that. He's too cute.
No,
They're
when they
so-
grow up.
You can't eat them when they grow up. They're cute when they grow up too.
They're birds. They all
Cows
taste
are
the same anyway.
telling me those.
Yeah, to the girl that raises cows.
They're cute for
Right?
life. They're always cute.
Cow's named Rooster.
We did
Have
have
you
a
guys
cow.
ever eaten the eggs from the emu?
We actually haven't gotten any of their eggs yet. This is their third
Still
year.
none.
No, I don't think Buckbeak is mature. He's just immature.
So they got another season to go.
I
Before
think
they
so.
drop
Look
eggs.
at this guy.
Look at him.
Look at this guy.
Look at him. Look at
Aw.
his little face.
How can you do that?
How can you say that?
Yeah.
You can't look at it in the eye and say you're gonna
It,
eat it.
it
when
looked like a
grows up.
baby ostrich.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are cousins. They're cousins. They're like ostriches, but they're skinnier. I think that's the general difference.
Imagine you guys having trouble with the cows and everything with the fences. Imagine raising ostriches.
Oh dear.
I
There's
guess
actually
see Trey out there with the little goat cart or mini bike facing down
Oh my
ostriges.
gosh, I've seen those things not other than a zoo, but on YouTube, and man, they can really get
They can
aggressive.
run.
Oh,
Oh,
they can be
yeah.
very aggressive ostriches.
Yeah.
Emus too. I mean, Griffin hates you.
Oh no.
There's
Wasting
actually
my money.
Did you see the video I shared with you, KK? About
I'll
the
have to
hat
double
for
check.
the emu. You have to
The
go look at that. It might
Yes,
be an idea
I
for
did
your
see that.
emu.
I got a bunch of hats for Buckbeak. You know, there is I'm telling you, there's something to it. Because I put
Yeah.
a little headband on him and he started pouting. But I put this hat on him and he loved it. He got so sweet. He loved
you
the
go.
hat. One thing I'm still 100% intending to leash train that emu and take him to like Tractor Supply and those places that say
Okay.
leashed pets are allowed.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
they're talking about
Not a big chicken.
they're talking about dogs, but it just says leashed pets.
A
Okay.
leash is a
I
leash.
did see
Well,
some.
can you muzzle them if you do take them?
No,
Because you don't want that thing going pack, 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 pack.
the only thing he's
No.
gonna do is try to steal your shoe. He's too sweet to hurt anyone. He'll try
I
to steal
see
your shoe.
somebody in Roll King with the chicken, and because at Roll King you can get free popcorn in the little bags,
Mhm.
and they were just sitting under their arm and feeding it the popcorn as they walking through the store.
Aw.
Oh my
So
goodness.
not to rain on everybody's parade, but just wanted to let you guys know that Joe did just go live.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Wow,
wrap
nice.
up. I was planning on
30
just wrapping
seconds
up in a
ago.
second
30
too.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
we're
wrap up
hoping
now.
to wrap up.
But before we go, I'm gonna ask both of our guests tonight to share a little bit about their channel. Who wants to go first?
That's a
I'll
horrible
go.
question.
It's a okay,
ahead.
Lori.
Going off.
Okay. Doesn't matter to me. One bit in the world. Lori, you go
ahead.
first. Oh, all right.
Okay.
So, Andale Homestead. We have what I call a homestead because you can have a homestead in an apartment. We live on 1 acre of land in a small home. We have a garden and some chickens and some good things like that. I enjoy sharing with others, preparing for storms or trying to get things. If you're caught short and you're in your house and your electricity suddenly goes off, what do you have in your house that you can actually use in another way to be able to make it through, to have light, to have fire, to have clean water, those
Right.
types of things? And I have a little live on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Eastern time. It's called Tuesday, where we get to choose our attitude of the day. I try to bring a little bit of happiness. And there's a lot of negativity in this world, but Andale Homestead is trying to bring the good stuff out there to be able to show love in a gentle way. So that's what Andale Homestead's about.
And you have such a great channel. Thank you.
Tuesday is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up here. We really
Miss Laura?
enjoyed this.
Miss
Yes,
Laura?
thank you, Miss Ann.
It's your turn, Miss Lori.
Well, I don't really know what's going on with my channel right now. I've kind of been, other than sharing some gardening once in a while, it's not been doing much. It's mostly just about my life. I mean, it's called Lori's World. I'm Lori, and it's about my world. And yeah, I don't know what's going to go on with it in the future. I know I'll be gardening and sharing that, but
She's
we'll
had
Crafting.
some crafting videos, some gardening videos. She did some art, some Bible study stuff. She's got some great stuff on her channel. And if you dig far enough, you can find her first video, which is about her getting married.
Yeah.
Aren't you, Lori? Aren't you doing a series on how to prepare, cook, and eat butternut squash?
I have to wait for the squash to grow. So we'll see if I actually harvest some more. I did the one experiment and it was successful, so I stopped.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, there is a seed swap coming up, from what I understand, Miss Lori.
There is
Yes,
indeed.
I do have a seed giveaway. I'm doing a seed giveaway every month, and just a kind of a garden chat about what's going on for your garden 2025 and planning for the spring. And then I have seeds coming out of my ears, so I'm giving them away. And
Nice.
yeah, so come and join me for that.
That's
It's 2
awesome.
o'clock on Wednesday, 2 o'clock Pacific time.
2 o'clock Pacific time. What time is that here?
That's
Pacific
5
time.
o'clock
5
Eastern. So
5 o'clock Eastern.
mhm.
5 Wednesday. That's after my drum lesson.
Hey.
I can make that.
4 Central.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Giving away
Cool.
seeds and chit-chatting about gardening.
Yeah.
And if you get lucky, you can go watch some of her videos where she talks to telemarketers.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
gosh,
are
those
great.
the best. Miss Lori has the perfect responses to spam callers. You have to look for those. They're so funny.
Oh my gosh.
They are fun. They are fun to mess with. I need to do a few more of those too.
Yes.
And also, thank you guys in the chat for being here. I'm not going to hold you guys too long because Mr. Joe at Garden State Gardener is live until 8:15, which is in like 45 minutes.
So go check out
So
Mr. Joe's
definitely
channel.
go check him out. Go give him a love raid. You can tell him we sent you.
Yeah, everyone post a chicken emoji in the comments.
A chicken.
Yeah.
But thank you to our panelists for this week. It was so great getting to hear your input, and I got a lot of things written down. I'm sorry about my keyboard making noise. I need a better microphone. And thank you to our
Oh, good.
co-hosts. You've done this for like 9 months now, and we really appreciate you guys. You guys have done so much for the collaboration, and we really appreciate you guys so much. And thank you guys in the chat. We couldn't do any of this without you, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us.
Right.
And for growing with us
All
and
the
sharing.
feedback. All the feedback.
And we really appreciate your feedback, and it's been so fun to garden with you. And welcome to the off season. If you guys have a final video, please get in touch with us. I'd love to get you in the lineup for the future live streams. It's gonna be fun. So if you're interested, let us know. And have a great night, everyone. Be sure to go check out Garden State Gardener. He's live right now. And he's a great channel, and he's gone through a lot. So we really appreciate it if you guys go check him out. And have a great night, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right. Good night.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you all.